everybody, welcome back to Rebel Media. This is my last video that I'll be making on this trip. I gotta catch a flight in a couple hours, but I couldn't leave without coming here. So let's learn about what happened here at Fort McAllister. Ah, the old Nashville. You can just see how big the components were. She was a fast ship. We called her the Rattlesnake. But she ran aground out there, got stuck, and the monitor blew her up. The men on board got off though. Before, just in time, but wow, that's cool. Just think about when these things were built. Alright guys, so we're going to be square and just follow the map here. This is the Genesis Point, #1, although I don't see much of a point here. But it looks like stop 2 is going to be the signal tower over there. So we're going to head that way. Make sure. Here we are at Site 2 at the signal tower. From up here, you can look out for them lying, thieving Yankees. This area in the middle here would have been called the Greenway. There would have been rows of tents which served as the primary sleeping quarters for the lower ranked men. Men garrisoned in the fort, they only slept inside the walls of the fort in the rare situation where there was an imminent attack. And we have a Sherman necktie right here. And according to our tour map here, the next thing we're going to take a look at are these huts. NCO huts. And these huts simulate the quarters of non-commissioned officers. Each of the original 16 NCO huts had 4 bunks, straw beds, and a stovepipe oven. That one doesn't seem to have great accommodations. There we go. Little stovepipe stove. Couple of bunks. Not bad. Beats the tent. Who goes there? Similar situation here. I'm sure the Confederates didn't have bundles of wood from Home Depot. This is a reproduction of a similar building that stood here. This barrack mimics the style of many coastal plantation houses and housed officers as well as the commander of the fort. However, the original structure was wooden and oversaw operations for this portion of the rice plantation before the war. So there was a rice plantation here. Looks like a room full of benches in there. Same thing here. Hard try. Nope. Here we got the blacksmith shop. And we are walking into the fort, guys. Wow. This is where the center of activity was until the fort was being shelled, obviously, because then it was a dangerous place to hang out. Was built by John McGrady. He went to school at Harvard. He was a professor of mathematics, and he was transferred to the Confederate Engineers. After the war, he spent his life doing academic stuff. He returned to his professorship in Charleston, and then he got into zoology. This 32-pounder gun was designed to fire heated cannonballs at wooden ships to set them ablaze. Using metal tongs, the cannon crew members transferred the heated cannonballs through the tunnel located between the furnace and the cannon. And this was where they would cook up those cannonballs. Look at that. Oh man, I always forget my flashlight. Phone flashlight's never that bright, but well, here we are. One of my favorite stories, there's a bunch of different stories about animal mascots that the men had on both sides of the army, but in this case, since we're in a Confederate fort, they have a sign here to the tomcat. And I was reading about the tomcat, and they had this gray cat. He was everybody's friend. Everybody loved him, you know. And these men are going through so much, you know. They probably put a lot of energy and love into that mascot. You know what I mean? Meant a lot to them. Well, in 1863, this place was getting bombed. Nobody died except the cat. The cat got blown up, or something like that. I'm not sure how they found the cat or how. Well, that's the story. And they were real upset about it, and they sent a casualty report to Beauregard about it, and in the official report of the action. So, rest in peace to the tomcat. Oh, hell yeah. Here we are at 11. The Central Bomb-Proof. This structure was used as a hospital and supply area. Most men admitted were either stricken with malaria or suffered burns from operating the cannons. Officers slept inside in case of a naval assault. Well, this is cool. Got a little bit of light here. Oh man, I wish I'd brought my flashlight. Alright, sorry for the ghost tour, guys. Here's a little sitting area and a bed. Let me go back here. Little fence. This is so cool that you can go in here. I've been to other forts, but you can never go in them. Not to this extent, not in the underground tunnels and stuff. Very, very cool. Alright, let's head down here. Man, if these walls could talk. And look at all these barracks. Imagine being sick in here like it was saying. There's not good ventilation down here. Man, what these men must have went through. I am continually astounded when I put myself in their shoes. Had a fire here. Oh yeah. This is the coolest. That was so cool. Where else can you go inside a Confederate fort these days? Like in it. Here's the 32 pounder. Obstruction of the river. So here, to block the channel, a double row of piling was here, went all the way out. They're saying they used the largest naval guns right here, and they would just go into this sand, but everything could be repaired. It was a tough fort. Across the way, over there, was the Chev's rice mill. I'm not sure where, but I guess somewhere in this general direction on the other side of the water, Sherman was sitting and watching this fort fall to the Yankees. 12, this is the parapet. On this outer edge of the fort's earthen wall, one of the guns was struck by a shell fired from a Union vessel and exploded. A large metal plate from the gun struck the fort's first commander, Major John B. Gale. We'll have to look that up when we get home, who was killed instantly and then replaced by Major George W. Anderson. And this is where he got taken out. Sharpshooters. From this position, this is where the sharpshooters were, taking aim on the Yankees. This gun was one of the 4 positions of the original battery. Struck during multiple naval assaults, the gun was always fixed quickly for service. Here we are, 17. This is the Sally Port. Sally Port allowed easy access for supply wagons, heavy guns, and large items into the interior of the fort. Although it was filled with branches to slow down Sherman's attack in December. This was one of the first locations right here that was breached by the Yankees. This is one of the first places they got in, right here. Captain Nicholas Clinch, when called upon by Union officers to surrender during Sherman's assault, December 13th, Clinch responded with a blow of his sword. After 3 saber, 6 bayonets, and 2 gunshot wounds, he was taken. That's a story we're going to have to read about. These are the powder magazines, I guess. They would have kept their fuses and ammo in here, gunpowder, and we're going in here. This is where they would have kept their gunpowder. Here are the fuses. Alright, stop 16. This is the eastern side of the fort, and right here would have been filled with light field guns to protect against any sort of land assaults. The guys would have been holding it down up here. This fort used to be surrounded by mines, and what's funny is that Sherman felt the mines were against the rules of war, which is funny coming from a guy who wreaked havoc on civilians on his way down here. But anyways, once they took the fort, he made the captured Confederates and the general here, whose name escapes me at the moment, go and recover all the mines. That's Sherman, man. This forested area was originally a large field and the site of General Hazen's frontal assault on the fort, in which several thousand men marched straight into Confederate fire. Mines placed in the field by Confederates inflicted heavy casualties on the Federal troops. Here we are, spot 19 at the 10-inch mortar battery. Check this sucker out. This battery was used heavily during the bombardment on February 1st, 1863, but caused the platform to collapse. Despite the damage, Confederates continued to fire it for the duration of the battle. I'm sad to say we're approaching the end of our tour, guys. This is a great place. Our last stop, guys. During the final attack by Sherman's troops in December 1864, several infantry regiments advanced along the shore of the river during the ebb and tide and attempted to scale the mounds under heavy fire. Troops in the 47th Ohio Regiment were the first to enter the fort and place their flag. Well guys, thanks for watching and coming along with me on this latest journey. This has been a really great trip. Learned a lot, saw a lot, and this is a great place to end it right here. This is a beautiful place, as you can see, and highly recommend you come check it out. And I always appreciate you guys so much. Be sure to like and subscribe, all that. And we'll see you on the next adventure.